My name is Mirna Bamieh. I'm an artist from Jerusalem, based in Lisbon. I'm currently working on my first solo show in Paris with Sour Things. Sour Things is an umbrella project with many installations that looks at notions of trauma, pain, immigration, forced exile, but as well deeper topics that has to do with the individual experience when it comes to collective uprooting. I reflect a lot on my own experience, on my own story. It's a space where I somehow gather my strength to look at my own trauma and what's happening in Palestine for centuries now and decades, and more intensely in the last months. The reason that I chose ceramics to mediate all those things that I want to say, I think is simply because ceramics are clay and clay is earth, and I work a lot on notions of uprooting and displacement, all notions that have to do with a shaky ground. The stability that I need in my life and in my practice is the one that I create in my use of clay and ceramics. Sour Things will be opening the new space of NIKA in Paris. I've already shown Sour Things the kitchen in the Dubai location last year. For this iteration of Sour Things, we're showing 3 main installations. The first biggest one is Sour Things the Pantry. The pantry looks at practices of preservation when you have no space to practice fermentation. It's a space of no place. It's a space of construction and deconstruction at the same time. The other 2 fermentations are Sour Things the Wall, with clusters of oranges that are creating their own sculptures and their own entities. They're squished, they're decaying, they're on top of each other. Each sculpture has one main color, and each color is resonating to one stage of grieving. This series is called Grieving in 6 Colors. The last installation is Sour Things the Staircase, and I'm working on ceramic pieces of enlarged okra, chili, garlic, and clove spice that are very related to practices of protection and opening the future. Cloves are used traditionally in Palestinian weddings, in gatherings of women where they make those necklaces and create those women's circle to talk about initiation of the bride for a new stage in her life. And I'm making those wet cloves that somehow are the threshold for a new beginning in between the vegetables that I'm creating in ceramics, and they will be hanging from the ceiling. Those necklaces directly mimic the necklaces that traditionally in all culture people were making to dry vegetable, to dry chili, to dry okra, to dry eggplants, to dry garlic. So the topic of preservation and saving oneself for a future moment is the theme that connects all Sour Things. I've been working with notions of disappearances since I started making art. In 2017, I created a research performance-based project called Palestine Hosting Society that deals with the disappearing recipes, ingredients that come from Palestine. And I create dinner performances where I share this knowledge and this research. I do believe immensely in the power of food, because we all have food stories and we all love food, and it's a medium that connects people. what I hope for people to take when they come and see my work, especially at Sour Things at NIKA in September. First of all is I would like people to grieve a little bit. There was lots of grieving that I was trying to understand while working on this series. I do think that art opens a space for healing, not only by the artist to other people, but for the artists themselves. So I think art saves the artists more than it saves anyone else. We make art because we cannot not make art. It's the way that artists basically breathe and live. It's the way we move in life and in the world. And from that, when it comes from a space of sincerity, it translates and it echoes outside the body of the artist. The viewer does feel something when they interact, when they come in exposure with the work. And you never know how art touches people. So sometimes it's directly through those spaces of sharing and talking and workshops, and sometimes indirectly by just hanging an artwork that says something, that speaks, and a viewer that listens.